All right, good afternoon, YouTube. This is going to be my 200-hour review on my TYM 574. I'm going to give you the brief rundown on what I love, what I'm not a big fan about, and what I hate. Let's go over the quick and dirty of it. What's broke on this thing? One thing is only stopped working due to a TYM part or issue. Everything else is done custom by the operator, yours truly, myself. So in that, these quick release bucket releases here, this one got hit, I believe, by the tractor, and it's just out a little further, aka me. The one thing that TYM had an issue with here is under the hood. As you can tell, this tractor is in its natural habitat. It is not clean, it's not pretty because it's used. Let's see here, this thermostat, there was a 2-bolt thermostat right here. And I did a video on this guy. Let's get you a better view of this guy right here. The sensor failed, the tractor ran perfectly fine. It just said it was at 270 degrees when I had just started it 3 minutes ago. So clearly there was an issue with that. My dealer had the part, sent it home with me because I elected to do it myself. He offered to do it. Sent it to me. I took pictures of the new one, took pictures of the old one, gave him the old one back. Done in about 30 minutes. So that's the only thing that this tractor has had an issue with. However, the tractor still ran just fine, but that was it. Let's see here, these R14 tires, the option on the TYMs. I absolutely love these things. If I didn't get these, I would have gotten the R1s. The R4s would have sufficed when my ground is like this. However, it gets wet and muddy out here. Needed something better. These have done super well. They did daggum good in the snow when I plowed my church parking lot with this tractor. I just used a bucket and a box blade. Yeah, so it's these tires, I would say highly recommended. Other thing, let's go over some recommendations of what I am extremely happy I did. First and foremost, filled these back tires. It's unreal how much of a difference that makes. So highly suggest doing that. Safety, stability, and traction, all vastly improved. I did it from day one, but my last tractor did not have it, and it's night and day difference. So I'll be doing that from now on. The other update I did on this tractor, don't mind that, is this hydraulic top link. I don't care how much you pay for it, whether it's $500 or $200. This is the $200 version off Amazon, I believe. It is worth every penny. I've had zero issues with it. I've done reviews on this before, but those are the two things I've added to this tractor that have been vastly utilized and made life easier. All right, so let's go over the back since we're here. Nothing's bent, nothing's wrong. I lost one pin right here. This is a temporary. I have not had a chance to get to the dealership to get the other one. In case you're wondering, this is what the stock one looks like. It's got a flip deal and much better. So I need to get another one of those. Let's see here, in 200 hours, I mean, we're getting some wear and wear and tear like that. I did remove my PTO cover. Yeah, I believe it was 4 bolts. Yep, these guys right here. It was daggum near infuriating trying to get this PTO drive on there with that on there because I'm not a contortionist. So that is now gone. It was a 4-bolt my issue, and I took care of it. So there's that. Let's see here. Still, every tractor should have one of these of some sort. I haven't had a whole lot of experience with the electronic ones. This is a manual mechanical one. Works absolutely great. I love it. This thing's awesome. All the windows are good. Let's see here. All the hydraulic lines are still good. No leaks. Have not had to tighten anything. Excuse me again. I did pre-mark all these with white marker to verify all these bolts are, you know, haven't rattled back or anything. Did the same on my wheels. That's just a me thing. It's a good idea. In the manual of TYM, it says to check your lug nuts before each time. This is a visual check I can do real quick. I have done 1 oil change and hydraulic fluid change on this thing. Here's the oil filter. I changed at 78 hours because I missed the 50-hour service by 28 hours. Whoops. So there's that. My fuel filter here is fixed. Oh, let's see here. This is the fuel filter. The water fuel separator and the fuel filter I'm fixing to change out at 250 hours. So that's coming up here, and we'll be going that way. I did the axle fluid change out at the same time, the 78 hours. I've had 0 axle leaks. I use this tractor in 4-wheel drive, I would say 50 to 60% of the time. So it is definitely used, as in the 4-wheel drive, turning or not. Let's see here. Regens. I've had no regens. None. I run this tractor at 15 to 2,000 RPMs and let the auto link pedal do its thing from there. The 1800 is probably my preferred, just for fuel economy and everything. Let's see, our seat's still good, as in no tears or anything. We're gonna kick this key on, prove to y'all. As you can tell, natural habitat.
$100 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people.
Sorry, Joe bags. All right, so we have 200. Man, y'all probably can't see that. 204.1 hours. There's that. Nothing to say in here. The AC still super good. Heat will get you out of here if you don't manage that. These window dealies here, I like them a lot. However, I don't feel like this is the best machined or quality of plastic. However, just don't be a brute with it. You should be fine. Let's see here. Both these ports still work. We got all this going. Now, I have been using my drive control quite a bit lately with box blading and the brush hog and stuff. And that is, once you figure that out, that is a great feature to have. I really, really enjoy that. So, let's see here. Customization I did. So, this loader handle here, I did a 180 on it. So, it was facing where this bend out this way, and I know why they did that. However, I have little T-Rex arms, so I like to kind of rest my elbow here and have my hand at the ready. And I use float all the time, so I want to go here and float, and I don't want to be reaching way down here to float. So I inverted this, 180, and it's actually slightly kicked over this way just a little bit, just because that's where my hand likes it. However, doing the float dump with the bucket, as you can see here, you got dump and then you got float dump, which goes like twice as fast, which I use all the time because I'm impatient. I do come real close to hitting that plastic. And then if I come down to pull my bucket up, you can see I've worn this scratch right here doing that. Again, I did that, TYM did not, but I may adjust this. It's not difficult. You basically take this cover off, this boot off, and there's I believe a jam nut, and that's all it is. And are able to spin this around. Now the third function buttons do have a wire going through here, so don't pinch that wire or get it caught. So it's not that hard, but be mindful of that. Let's see here. All my lights and signals work. I've used signals a few times on the road. Horn works, and well, you gotta have it on, but yeah, you know, cool beans. Real manly horn too. Let's see here. 4-wheel drive. So the 4-wheel drive, I like the location. It's not too bad. I'm glad it's not between my legs or any further down on the floor. I got a pair of pliers. I like it here. I can be driving and not even have to really look and be able to engage that. Disengaging sometimes is an issue until you learn a trick. Some people say turn the steering wheel back and forth. That works about 50% of the time for me. For me, it's a slow roll, and in a forward reverse to get it in and a reverse to get it out. So if you're in 4-wheel drive and you want to get it out, just barely tap it back and then push down and it'll slide right in. Do not force it, because that is kind of what people tend to do, and they end up breaking the linkage. All right, so it will go in smooth as butter when it does, and it's supposed to. Let's get into something that I think TYM can really improve on, and this is a me request, not so much anything else. The ranges. Okay, so I was in medium there. High is, how do I want to put this? Top speed on the road in high empty is maybe 10 miles an hour. That's okay. Medium range is like a tick slower than I think it should be, and I think high could be a tick higher than it should be. Low is low. It's grading gear. That is for pulling. However, when I do a lot of bucket work, I want to be in medium, but it just seems like it takes forever to get from A to B. High, you can't really, go into the pile very, you're putting a lot of strain on the tractor and the hydraulics going into a pile for the loader in high. Everybody kind of knows that. Medium to low is where you want to be. I want to gear between these two. I really do. For heavy loader stuff, leave it here. And then for lighter, like this light powder dirt, have a range right here. So a 4 range would be super handy in this tractor. That's one of the things that I kind of wish I had, was either this a bump higher and keep that one and put another range where just underneath where high is. So it'd be low, you can call it medium 1, medium 2, and high, or ABCD, or whatever you want to do. This works, obviously. However, a 4th range would be nice. Now, what do I usually do? Well, I like the 4-wheel drive. I have learned to switch in and out of medium and high frequently. Now, I don't mind doing that because it's mechanical. I'm not relying on an electronic solenoid to shift the range for me. So I go into the pile in medium, I come out and you know, backwards. And when I go forward, I just shove this back into high, and then at that 1800 RPM, I'm able to get, you know, say from here around the house and around that, you know, SUV right there in, you know, twice as fast. So it's and I can dump and do all that in high just fine. It's just when you put load on the tractor, pulling, pushing into, you know, dirt, whatever, I don't tend to do high. I definitely favor medium. However, it just seems like it's a slow, low, medium. But anyways, make do with what you got. PTO, I just used it last night actually, and it's doing fine. I really don't mind this push button deal. However, the location, I kind of wish it was up here somewhere. I think that would be easier because I always want to turn this way, watch that, and hit the PTO and see what breaks. You know, whether it's a shear pin or something under that cutter I can't see. But then I gotta reach all the way over here and then hit that. You know, it's such as life, right? There's no perfect tractor. There's no perfect truck. There's no perfect gun. Let's see here. What have I lifted with this? Well, other videos you've seen, this is probably by far the heaviest thing I lift on a regular basis. Those 4x4x8 square bales. Now, I did not stack those. Those are 4 high. This tractor will not reach the top, and I do not really feel that super comfortable picking 3 high with this loader. There's a slight grade there. There's some other stuff. However, 2 high and on the ground, I can pick those all day long. Biggest hindrance for me there is only a 2-point hay fork. So we got that. But let's see here. Power. So out here, I've done a video on plowing this field before. I plowed this field under, trying to let the natural grass come up more and trying to get rid of some of the alfalfa, trying to move it more to pasture grass. I did that with this 10-foot 2-row triple K cultivator with a harrow behind it. So yeah, all of that is done with this. Pulling this, not an issue, none. Medium range. In the wet spots, I put it in 4-wheel drive. In the dry spots, I kept it in 2. Yeah, it pulls this 10-footer just fine. I would pull a 12 with it, and probably on my ground, and probably not have an issue. My ground does not have a lot of rock, as in any, but it does have caliche about 3 foot down, but it is a loomy, sandy silt type soil. Battery's been great. Just do the maintenance on these things and they're gonna last. I did my air filter with my oil change. I did put the inner filter and the outer filter in here because of that mess right there, all that dirt and just that fine dust. It gets everywhere. It ruined my side-by-side. Just blew my second engine on it. So if you were looking into one of these tractors, the bucket is less than to be desired. It's a little light for the lifting capacity of this tractor. So you are going to taco this bucket if you are not super paying attention and careful. Like this hook right here, handy, but I put very little weight on there. If I lift something with weight, I put it over here in these corners. It's much stronger here than there. And thankfully I haven't tacoed it yet or got a smiley face. but I would not want to lift much more than maybe a gooseneck stock trailer, not a horse trailer, like a living horse trailer, but you know, we're talking light stuff with that. And what's light is relative, but you know, I would say if you're going to be lifting a 2,000 pound piece of steel, I'd put it on over here. But if you're lifting like a 500 pound piece of wood, that would probably survive as long as you can get the right angle. Second thing, this cutting edge. I got the cutting edge for several reasons. One, I wanted to reinforce this bucket, and it's done a great job at that. And two, it just digs so much better. It protects the bucket. I got that when I bought the tractor, but you know, it's one of those things when you know that's what you want, just get it. That is worth it to me. Grease points. So because I'm at 200 hours, I grease my, and I'm due, as you can tell, but I grease my tractor every 10 hours. Kind of depends on what I'm doing with it, but for the most part, every 10 hours I grease every zerk I can find. There's a couple hiding on the other side, just so y'all know. Down in this range for the linkage, yeah, there's one right there. There's another one. There's a couple on the axle. I mean, you kind of have to get down there and do it, but grease this thing a lot. I have zero squeaks. I haven't had a bearing or anything go. No bends. And you will want to invest in an auto grease gun. Worth it as much as that. So let's see here. Windows. So window seals, as you can tell from my cab, it gets dusty in here. And I mean, you saw me struggle with the dash there. But this is why. This is the dust I'm dealing with. It's super fine. And I don't expect tractors to be like, you know, high-end pickup, but it does okay with the seals. I have zero leaks, if that, you know, is an issue for you. I have zero leaks, except that one, on the tractor itself in the cab. So yeah, haven't had any handle issues, door issues. I haven't had to adjust anything. I haven't had to do anything to this tractor, honestly. Just put fuel and oil in it and grease it, and that's all I've been doing. The stereo, less than be desired. It works. You can hear it, but it's not super awesome. Rotate the outboard venting to however you want it. This is the only option, the 4 up here, and these are your 4 intakes for the HVAC system. Now, lighting. So the LEDs on the newer tractors are probably super awesome. These do pretty dang good. This little guy, however, I said on my last review, and I'll say it again, is the bee's knees. I did not realize how much I needed that light. It shines light like right here so that you can see where your front tires are going in the dark. And snow plowing, that is crucial, because guess when you snow plow? A lot in the dark, because there's not a lot of daylight left. So very handy to have. Let's see here. I haven't had any issues with the loader. Everything's still lining up and good on that. Let's see here. Again, still wish they put a brass thread system here and maybe a steel or aluminum cap. But that is what it is. Yeah, so I'm gonna fix that this winter. I just bought this this summer, and when I got it, it had 0 gear oil in there. I filled it up, and now it's coming out. Now I know why there's 0 in there. Seal broke, but that'll be a winter project. So other than that, guys, I mean, this tractor has probably saved me 30 plus grand. I did my entire 900-foot driveway with it. I backfilled my entire septic system with it. Did a lot of grading and planing through here for the house build. Yeah, and then, plowing and doing other things. So this tractor has, in 1 year, I got this in November of 2024, has paid for itself, or dang near, in 1 year, 200 hours. So a lot of people aren't building a house right when they buy a tractor, but some are. It's things to think about. It's going to be utilized here soon. Soon been working on trying to get all this building material picked up, moved, and I'm going to start building a barn over there. And I'm going to be using this. I'm going to be using that guy, and I got to get a 18-inch auger for it. So, but yeah, this thing is awesome. Like using the postal auger, I generally only run it at about 1,000, maybe 15-ish, 100 RPMs. I do not get it to 540, and this thing just eats. So, and I've only killed it once, and that was because me. Wrong way with the throttle. So yeah, it's good, man. I have zero qualms about it. The power's been there. Leakage hasn't been a big issue for me. Not yet, God willing. Let's see here. I'm just trying to think of anything else that y'all might want to know about. I do use this quite a bit when I'm using my blade, making dishes and trying to manage the water on the surface and whatnot. And I should wash this thing a lot more, because you can see all the dirt and mud packed on there. But like I said, I use it. I use it all the time, and I use it when I need it, not when the days are perfect. But yeah, y'all, if you have any other questions, let me know. Appreciate y'all watching. Hopefully this helps somebody. But like I said, 204 hours, no regens, no breakdowns to where I had time down with it, and no leaks. So there's that. Y'all, I appreciate you. Comment down below what you got, and if you got any questions, I'd appreciate it. I'm getting much better at responding. And tell you what, get outside, man. These tractors make work a lot easier, and they definitely put you where you need to be in God's creation. All right, y'all. God bless. Have a good day.